Welcome to The Financial Talk. My name is Natalie and I make videos about finance, economy, and investing. In today's video, I'm going to talk about exchange traded funds, also known as ETFs. If you want to learn more about ETFs, what they are, how do they work, the types of ETFs, and how to read an ETF fact sheet, then keep watching. My goal for this channel is to reach 1,000 subscribers, and I know I can do it with your help. So please do not forget to subscribe to the channel and give this video a big thumbs up to help me with the YouTube algorithm. I will really appreciate it. Before getting started, I wanted to mention that I'm not a financial advisor and this is not financial advice. This video is only for entertainment purposes, and any ETF that I mention in this video is just for examples. It should not be considered investment advice. Before investing, if you do need any help, please consult with a licensed professional. With that being said, let's get started. What is an ETF? An ETF is basically a basket of securities. It can be a basket of bonds, a basket of stocks, a basket of commodities. The way I like to explain it is, think of a stock as a fruit, such as an apple. An ETF will be a fruit salad. If you want to know the difference between stocks and ETFs, I'll leave you a video that I make here so that you can check that out. How do ETFs work? ETFs, just like stocks, they trade on the exchange, so you can buy it or sell it within trading hours, and their price is based on the supply and demand for the particular ETFs. The types of ETFs. There are many types of ETFs, just as there are thousands of stocks. The main categories I will say are bonds ETFs, industries ETFs, commodities ETFs, and currency ETFs. Let's say that you want to invest in bonds but do not know which bond to pick. You can look for a bond ETF, and these ETFs can have government bonds or corporate bonds. You will basically follow whatever the bonds is doing. If you are interested in purchasing technology stocks, but there are many different technology companies and you want to have the most popular ones, then you can find technology ETFs that invest in these companies. How to read an ETF fact sheet. An ETF fact sheet is a document that discloses all the information regarding the ETF that you're looking for. So you will see information such as the summary, the price, the performance, the holdings, the volatility, the risk, the management expense ratio. To better explain you how you can read these ETF fact sheet, I'll be sharing with you my screen so that we can go through all this information and break it down.
I'm going to explain you how to find ETFs and how to read the information that is provided on the website and also on the ETF fact sheet. Let's say that you want an ETF that tracks the TSX, which is the Canadian exchange. So we'll just put ETF that tracks the TSX, first option, and we have here by Money Sense some ETFs names. You have to know that ETFs are issued by companies. For example, iShares ETFs is issued by BlackRock. Then we have Horizon's ETFs. This is issued by Horizon, and then BMO ETFs. So we'll just take the first ticker here. So this is the ticker symbol, which means how will you identified an ETF, and there's a brief description. Wanted to mention again, this is just for information purposes and should not be taken as investment advice. What I'm gonna do now is you can just type SIC ETF and you will see here a summary by Google Finance, because we're looking through Google, but you can go to the BlackRock website, which is the company that issues these ETFs. Let's click there and it will prompt us to their website where we will see all the information available for these ETF. Continue. It's really important that before buying anything, you do your own research, because at the end of the day, it's your money that is going to be invested. So on this site, we have that XIC is an ETF that owns the entire Canadian stock market. It's low cost and is decided to be a long-term core holding. If you're looking to invest in the short term, probably these might not be ETF for you. It is really important to know your objectives and your risk tolerance before investing in anything. So we have here the investment objective. So if you buy this ETF, it's because you're seeking long-term capital growth by replicating the performance of the S&P and TSX. Here we will see the price. As of July 3rd, it was trading at $24.76 in 52 weeks information. This was the lowest that reached in the past 52 weeks, and this is the highest that the ETF has performed. This is the one-day change in the value of the ETFs and the total return as of July 2nd, 2020. So currently it's negative. Now, we're not really going to look into this because this is information that it's recent. What you would like to see is the performance of these ETFs, 1 year performance, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. So if you're looking for long term, this is what we really need to look at: the total return for the past year, past 3 years, 5 years, and 10 years, and since inception, meaning since the ETF was made public. Now also I like to look at the hypothetical growth of 10,000. You will see these in all the ETFs that you research, and it's just a chart basically telling you if you had invested 10,000 and put all. So since inception, if you invested 10,000, how much will you have today? You will have around 30,000, plus 3 times of what it at. Now if we click here, you will see the performance of the S&P. So as you can see, these ETFs moves just as the S&P and TSX. This is basically an index ETF because it is following the index S&P and TSX. Okay, if you keep scrolling down, you will see some key facts. You can see which exchange it belongs to. You can see net assets, the inception date, which it's basically the date of the first subscription for the units. So just in easy words, the date that they started issuing shares of XIC. And investment programs has DRIP, so it has dividend reinvestment plan, and you can see the P ratio as well, and the fees. This is really important. ETFs have an embedded management expense ratio, meaning that when you buy this, it will automatically take the commission or these fee out of your investment. So this one is 0.06. It is low compared to other products or other securities such as mutual funds or other ETFs. Usually if you are not sure which ETFs to look, it's really important that you look at the summary, you look at the fees, you look at the risk, and you look at the returns when you're comparing two ETFs from the same sector, let's say. Now the risk indicator, it's just how much risk is involved in this investment. It's medium risk, and when you're trying to invest, it is important that you know your risk before investing. Imagine these ETFs had high risk and your risk tolerance is really low, then these might not be the investment for you. And here you will see the holdings, the top 10 holdings. This ETF basically has all of these stocks. It has Shopify, Royal Bank, TD, and so on. This is just the information on the website. Now if you go here, you will see the fact sheet, which is what we're interested in. All ETFs will provide you with a fact sheet. It's a detailed summary of the ETFs that you are interested in. It is kind of the same thing that we have already looked at on the website, but this is an actual document that all the companies have to issue before and when you buy the ETFs. Again, this is the summary of the ETF, why people buy it or decide to buy XIC, the launch date, the benchmark that follows, and more other information. Units are outstanding. It will give you an insight of liquidity. If it has more shares, it might tell you that it's a little bit more liquid than other ETFs that have lower shares. Again, the growth of 10,000 since its inception. If you were to invest when it just came out in February 2001, then you will have about, let's say, 30,000. Triple your money in a period of 20 years. If you want to see in 10 years, you might have double your money. Then we have the performance. Tell you the benchmark is the performance of, again, the S&P TSX Cape Composite Index. So how the benchmark perform and how the fund perform. You can see they're really similar because this ETF follows that index. Again, you see the top holdings. Now for the performance, it is important that even if you see here the annual performance and you see on this graph, this is just for illustrative purposes. You have to keep in mind that past performance does not guarantee future performance. It's something that you have to be aware of when you are investing, not only on this ETF but in any security, and it has it here as well. Then over here you have the price to earnings ratio, the price to book ratio. These ratios are important when you're comparing to other ETFs that do the same job. For example, we had also the HXT and ZCN. You can use it to compare it with ETFs in the same industry or tracking the same index. And finally, we have the sector exposure, which is really important as well, because if you are gonna be mainly investing in ETFs, then you want to diversify. So ETFs allow you to diversify just with one product. By you purchasing this ETF, you will have exposure in financials, materials, energy, and so on. But if you're looking to purchase more ETFs, you just have to be aware that not all your ETFs have like a lot of weight in financials, because if something happens to the financial sector, then most of your ETFs are probably gonna go down, right? So you also want to have the diversity on the ETFs that you purchase. You see, the ETF fact sheet is just 2 pages. It gives you really detail and concise information regarding the ETFs that you are planning to buy.
If you found this video useful, do not forget to give it a like and let me know in the comments below if you invest in ETFs. I would love to hear from you. Do not forget to subscribe. My goal is to reach 1,000 subscribers by December or earlier, and I know I can do it with your help. Thank you for your support, and I will see you on my next video. Take care.